Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Today's episode is going to be a short but powerful, impactful episode. I'm currently working on my wealth money mindset so that I can move into my next level. And over the last 5 years, it's been about 5 years, my growth in business, my evolution around my money story, and the rewiring of beliefs have been so accelerated that actually in 2022, I co-built a company that was at such a high level, my nervous system couldn't handle it. I believe that is what imploded the whole thing. Of course, there were so many subconscious things running in the background and so many more variables. But ultimately, the people that create the container are responsible for how they show up and how they hold the container and how they hold that level. And I could not hold it at the time. And so I very quickly, I talk about the upper level limit. I talk about the actual limit. The moment you hit your new level, you go beyond it. And I talk about how you need to normalize and neutralize it. And so I hit this new level. I broke through this, it was just like a crazy, crazy quantum leap. I'm telling you, a company was essentially born overnight into a nearly $750,000 company run rate for that year. That in the first year of business, the first few months, we had almost 100% of people say yes to joining it. So it was big. It was huge. And ever since then, of course, there was kind of the coming down from that, right? Where you go into self-sabotage, protective mode, and then the healing. How did I create this? What inside me created this or played a role in this subconsciously? And then to bring all of those things that are under the surface that look like a behavior and are on a deeper level, something that is operating, right? I say you have your foot on the gas pedal that you can't see, something that is operating unconsciously in your blind spot, right? So I knew I needed to bring all those things that are in the dark to the light to then rewire them. This message sponsored by Po Hung Yu. Have you ever thought about microdosing before? Maybe you've even seen documentaries like Fantastic Fungi or How to Change Your Mind on Netflix. By the way, I have a funny story about the Fantastic Fungi, but you're going to have to ask me offline. Or maybe you've heard about the extensive research happening in the best universities and the evidence showing how mushrooms are game-changing for those with anxiety, depression, ADHD, and even PTSD. So many female leaders and moms have jumped on the microdosing bandwagon to help them better manage modern-day stress. I want to introduce you to our new brand partner, Po Hung Yu. She's a self-mastery mentor, microdosing guide, and a former acupuncturist. And as a successful woman like me, like you, imagine a life where your brain and your nervous system can just relax. That's exactly what happens when you microdose and you're guided by an experienced facilitator. So you can actually be present and enjoy your life minus the anxiety, overwhelm, and stress. The best part is you don't feel high, there's no psychedelic effect, and no one will know. You can still work, be with your kids, drive, exercise, and live your normal day-to-day life. But you'll still receive all of the amazing benefits of mushrooms, like increasing neuroplasticity, flow, creativity, focus, and even your connection and intimacy with your loved ones. Not only will you receive a 15-minute consult where Po will tell you exactly how this process works so you can decide if it's a fit for you, but you'll also get a bonus of $500 off and a complimentary root cause assessment call worth over $800 when you decide to work with Po. Click the link below in the show notes to get started today. So, as I have continued to ascend and rebuild my companies and my wealth and rewrite my money story, and how that looks and my relationship with money and having it, I'm rereading the book You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And if you haven't read it, you should read it. She's hysterical. It's an easy read, but don't take her lightness and her humor. Don't glaze over it. Don't miss the parts that are actually really powerful and really poignant and offer a belief shift consistently throughout the book. And so as I'm rereading this, I thought you would get some value from this excerpt that I was reading today. And it goes like this. It's in a chapter called Allowing. Everybody arrives on this planet with unique desires, gifts, and talents. And as you journey through life, your job is to discover what yours are, to nurture them, and to bloom them into the most authentic, gleeful, and badassiest version of yourself. In order to do this, as a human being in modern society on planet Earth, you must be rich. Read that last part again. And then I want you to get your journal out and write down everything that comes up, fighting for a different or opposing stance that isn't this statement. Right? It'll sound something like, oh, well, I don't need money to be happy. Or like, I can be gleeful without cash. Or I can be authentic without being rich. Like, no, right? You're going to notice the opposition. You're going to notice the opposing stance of that statement. Why does that matter? Because it will reveal everywhere inside you that doesn't think you deserve, that you should be, or that shames you around money, around being rich, whatever that label means. It will reveal everywhere you are not neutral about cash, about wealth, about the idea of being rich. It's why you won't feel there yet. In fact, I talk about collecting evidence of what you want to be true or the reality that you are in creation of. And so what are you collecting evidence for? And in those statements that you write down that are actually opposing or fighting for a different truth other than this. And listen, maybe you've healed this part, but everywhere that fights for something else to be true is why you don't have it yet. It's where you're making money not neutral. It's where you don't feel like wealth is a frequency as the embodiment of it. And it's where you think you're separate from it in lack. Right? So write it down and get curious about what comes up for you. This is the kind of work that we have been doing in my Leadership Mastery Academy, inside our programs, where we're actively rewiring these beliefs. Because when you have the tools to show you how to do that, it becomes really easy because why? You can't unsee these things. So if you're wondering, okay, now what? Get inside the academy. Get that coaching. I promise you, we move fast. Because the minute those things are revealed, you cannot go back to what you were doing before. And that's the gift. And it's also simultaneously somewhat torturous. Because it's like, damn it, I wish I could just go back to sleep. Why can't I just be unconscious again to this? But there's something in you that feels called to something else, something bigger. You know that that life is meant to be better. You're meant for more. There's something else inside you that knows this, that desires this, or it wouldn't bother you so much. All right. Thank you so much for listening today, and keep it first class. I'll see you on the next episode. Short and sweet today. I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon. Seriously though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.